Extremely well today. They were shooting 26% from three in the last 5 games, 29% at home in the Big Ten, and 30% overall, and today 56%. Sterling Carter had a career day, obviously. We were concerned about him. We knew that his shooting percentages, as low as they were an anomaly. We knew he was much more capable of that. Without question, he played with the way you'd expect and hope that a fifth-year senior would play, and did a phenomenal job at that. We wanted to do a very good job of being good inside out with the abilities that Hammonds has, and there were some times we just did not challenge the shots the way that we did. At the bottom line with this game, and it got away from us in the second half, we gave up too many points in transition. And we had a couple of very soft, sloppy and one calls, but most importantly, they just got out on the break. And we did not answer the bell the way that we needed to when they were on that run, and get back and get stops the way that we needed to. And they took advantage of it. And then we were trying to play catch up the rest of the way. But they shot the ball extremely well. Like I said, you see the percentages just like we do, way above and beyond what they had been shooting it. And if they make shots like that, they're going to be really hard to beat for everybody. And bottom line is we've got to continue to, we just can't have empty possessions. Empty possessions where we don't get a great look, or we don't get on the offensive glass, and then we get beat on runouts. So other than that, go ahead.
Derek.
Coach, it's always going to be tough when Noah gets 3 fouls in the first half, but you seem like you were particularly upset with a couple of fouls he got.
Oh, just one. No, it's part of the experience. I mean, how are you going to learn if you don't go through it? I mean, be honest about it. I mean, you got to learn. You can't leave his feet like that. You can't leave your feet. And it's just, again, it's an experience. It's part of the understanding of it. You got 2 fouls. You're in that situation. We put you back in to not be tentative, but to also not be overly aggressive. And he's not overly aggressive like that usually anyways, but that's a case where you really have to be, you have to just understand where you're at in the game. But we needed to put him in that point. I've sat him with 2 fouls before, but we're not in that position right now. We're not getting enough off the front line to be able to keep him out very long.
Coach, you said Purdue blew out the percentages from beyond the arc. Why do you think they were so successful tonight?
They got confidence, and look at the free throw shooting. I mean, the free throw shooting, I mean, again, when the ball's going in, I mean, their free throw shooting percentages have been very average, and tonight they're very good. And so I think Sterling Carter making shots, Tyrone Johnson, we didn't get on him quick enough a couple times. So I think it just became, our mistakes were that we were late with our hands. The hands weren't as active. And they knocked down the looks. So we were very concerned about Stevens and concerned about them all. But the bottom line is you have to play inside out with this team with the abilities that AJ has. But at the same time, when they have the ball, you have to have your hands in.
Yogi talked about, I guess, just some missed layups and some close misses in the second.
Yeah, we had 12 missed layups on our count.
Just what, I guess, what were the issues that I know?
Just missed layups. I mean, you saw some, right? I mean, there's some were point blank layups. We just missed them. And what's your question on the issue?
Was there anything specific you saw that was maybe caused?
We just missed layups. I mean, you can go back and watch the film, but I mean, the basket didn't move. We just missed layups. And some we rushed. So in answer to your question, I guess a couple of them would be that we rushed. Some we just didn't make. But, you know, with that being said, you can say, okay, that's a part of the game, and then you can't give up those layups on the other end. That's the big thing.
Just how big was the bucket they got at the end of the half, the free throw and the putback, when you had a shot to tie it or take the lead with, you know, a couple seconds left?
It was a free bounce, and there was some contact there on the foul line, we felt, a little more so than usual. And it was a free bounce, and they made a play. So we were in a double pinch situation there, you know, where we were pinching both sides, both defenders on each side, blocking out one man, and the guard's got to get inside, the man back's got to get inside. We were late on that, and I think is what it was, more than anything else. I don't know if that's just part of it. I mean, I don't know if that's you can look and say, I mean, it's at the end of the half, so I'm not a big believer in the whole you take momentum into halftime. They got momentum when they went on a 13-1 run. That's when they got the momentum, and we didn't stem the tide on that.
Anything else for Coach?
Just how concerned are you about the possibility of this starting to snowball, after you have the way the Penn State game went and then this one?
I'm concerned about what we're going to practice tomorrow to get ready for Iowa. I don't think like that. I know you've been covering us for a while, but I'll just reiterate it. I don't ever think like that. That's not how I'm built. That's not how I'm going to coach the team. That's what we have to work through. And if I thought there was anybody that was in that situation where they weren't going as hard or weren't as locked in, well, you'd see them play a lot less. You might still see them play. We've got a few numbers issues right now, but I've dealt with doubts most of my life. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. I'm pretty good at dealing with that, and I'm pretty good at spotting it when other people have them, and I don't tolerate it. So I'm concerned about making sure that we're really ready to play at home against Iowa on Tuesday night, and I'm really concerned that they got 40 free throws today, correct?
Correct.
So anxious to look at this tape, see what we have to do. Some of these things, we just have to figure some things out. 3 of the last 2 games, we've gotten 0 points out of the 2 spot. I mean, 0 points. So with that being said, well, now you can't have those turnovers, and then you can't be giving up baskets. So those, I'm more concerned about that than anything else, and then get ready for the next game.
Stephen?
Coach, when you have a team going to run the way it did today, and you talk about them not fighting back or getting a stop or getting back the other night,
I didn't say we didn't fight back.
Well, I
said
shouldn't
we
say that.
didn't
I
set
shouldn't
a
say that.
It's a difference.
Right. The other night, in pivotal moments of the game, just someone not, making a play to kind of, turn things the right direction. And what part of that, I guess, is mental?
I think quite a bit of it is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question.
And
Quite a bit
what
of
do
it
you
is.
do?
You pointed out in film. I'm not big on bringing in a team of sports psychologists and things like that. I'm not saying there's not a place for that, but the bottom line is you really get your strength from your teammates. I mean, you got to shut out the negativities and the doubts as much as you can, and then you can't let them creep in when the game's going on. And I think what we've got to do, we've got to get more strength and confidence from our teammates on the floor. But some of the things the other night, I think when the players saw them on film, they were so simplistic. Okay, literally, all right, not throwing the ball to the open man, literally not rolling back, and getting a guy on his back, to get a seal, those type of things. So really, I think when you can continue to point out that most of them are fundamental, more than they are anything else, then it doesn't allow somebody to get there and get wrapped up in the mental side. But to think that people don't, now that'd be a mistake. So you just got to keep working through it, and you got to keep building that competitive spirit. Some have it more than others, but you have to have a togetherness of spirit more than anything else, and that togetherness is really what they have to have on the floor, with one another, and that's the bottom line.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.